Hey guys, Mythos Gamer, welcome back for turn number 9 of our third game. Before we get started, we're going to do a quick overview of Arkham and see where everybody is. This is our downtown area. Right now Lola's at the Independence Square with a sealed gate. Right now our north side area is pretty empty. In the Easttown area, Diana's in the streets, but she's delayed. Over in Rivertown, we have a sealed gate at the Black Cave, and we have a gate to the Plateau of Lang at the Graveyard. Over in the Merchant District, we have a sealed gate at the Unvisited Isle, and we have a gate to another dimension at the Unnameable. Nothing happening over at Miskatonic University. Over at the French Hill, there's a gate to the Great Hall of Salino at the Witch's House, being guarded by a ghost. Over in Uptown, we have a gate to Yuggoth at the Woods. And in our last area, the south side, there's a dimensional shambler in the streets. Okay, that's it for our overview. During our upkeep, we're going to do only one thing. Min is going to use her Carcasson page. It lets her transfer or receive one item from an investigator, no matter where they are. Looking at what our investigators have, Lola has a gate trophy and 5 toughness worth of monster trophies. The science building lets you spend either 1 gate trophy or 5 toughness worth monster trophies to get 2 clue tokens. Lola already has 2 clue tokens. So if she had the press pass and she used the ability to science building for 2 turns, that would give her 6 clue tokens. Plus her 2, 8. It's exactly what we need. So we're going to have Min transfer the press pass over to Lola. And now we're going to our movement phase. We're going to pass our first player marker from Min to Joe Diamond. Joe Diamond right now is delayed in Yuggoth. So for his movement, we're just going to ready him. Our next investigator, Diana, is also delayed. So we'll ready her, and that will end her movement. Our third investigator, Lola, has a movement of 6, and we're going to get her over to the science building. So we'll move from Independence Square to the downtown streets, then from the downtown streets to the Merchant District, then from there to the Miskatonic University streets, and finally over to the science building. And our last investigator, Min, will move further into the Plateau of Lang. We had a pretty quick movement phase with 2 investigators being delayed. We'll move on to our Arkham Encounters phase now. Because Diana is still in the Easttown streets, she won't have an encounter this turn. Next we have Lola at the science building. She's going to use the dissection ability. Instead of having an encounter here, you may spend 5 toughness worth of monster trophies or 1 gate trophy to gain 2 clue tokens. She's going to discard her 1 gate trophy to gain 2 clue tokens. And she's going to exhaust the press pass to gain an additional 1. This will give her 3 and bring her up to 5. We only had 2 investigators in Arkham, so we'll move on to our Otherworld encounter phase. First we have Joe Diamond in Yuggoth. We need a blue or yellow Otherworld encounter card. The first one we drew is yellow, and it does have Yuggoth on there. The Migo question you about the Dynasty of America, ruled by Emperor Castaigne. You must lose 2 sanity or be delayed. We'll lose 2 sanity. This will bring him down to 2. And our next investigator, Min, is in the Plateau of Lang. We need a red or green Otherworld encounter card. We drew a green one, and the Plateau of Lang is on there. Someone has taught the locals to read ancient tongues. If you appease them by discarding a tome, they offer you food and shelter. Gain 2 stamina. If you do not, you lose 1 stamina. Let's see if she has any tomes. She does have 1 tome, the Director's Diary, but you can discard it to reduce the terror level increase by 1. I don't think we want to discard this. We've been really lucky with our terror level this game. if it does go up, it's going to make things even harder for us, and it's already going to be really tough for us to finish this. I think we're just going to have her take 1 stamina damage. She's at 4 stamina. Putting her down to 3, I don't think it'll be too bad. She seems pretty safe for now, so I think we'll just hold on to our diary and move her down to 3 stamina. Now we're moving on to our Mythos phase. It says that a gate and a monster appear at the graveyard. There's already a gate at the graveyard, so we will have a monster surge. There are 4 investigators and 4 gates right now, so you will draw 4 monsters. Right now there are 3 monsters on the board, so 7 is our limit before going to the outskirts. So we can have 1 monster added to each gate. In fact, we're actually going to have 2 added to the Plateau of Lang, because there's already 1 at the Great Hall of Seleno, when you have to make sure they're spread out evenly with the Plateau getting the most. So we'll do 2 to the Plateau, 1 to another dimension, and 1 to Yuggoth. Our first 2 monsters going to the Plateau of Lang, and the first one we got was a Ghoul, the -3 to Sneak. +0 to hard checks, doing 1 sanity damage. -1 to combat, doing 1 stamina damage, 1 toughness, and ambush. Our second monster for the Plateau of Lang is the High Priest, a -2 to sneak. He gives +1 to hard checks, doing 1 sanity damage, -2 to combat checks, doing 2 stamina damage, 2 toughness, and magical immunity. Our next monster goes to another dimension. It is a zombie. He has a +1 to sneak. He does -1 to hard checks, doing 1 sanity damage, -1 to combat checks, doing 2 stamina damage, 1 toughness, and he has the undead trait. And our last monster goes to Yuggoth, the flying fire vampire, with a +0 to sneak. He does not cause a hard check, but does -2 to combat, 2 stamina damage, 1 toughness, ambush, and physical immunity. Next, a clue will appear at the Invisited Isle. The only thing at the Invisited Isle right now is a sealed gate. So we will add our clue token. Now for monster movement. We have the moon and the cross. Well, we have multiple monsters move this turn. We'll start with our moon monsters going the white arrow. We have the ghost at the witch's house, but he's a yellow monster, so he does not move. There's a zombie at the unnameable. He's going to move to the Merchant District streets. We also have our flying cultist in the sky. And this turn we do have an investigator in the streets. He's going to swoop down on Diana in the East Town streets. That's all of our moon monsters. Now we have our cross monsters following the black arrow. And we actually only have 1 cross monster. That's our High Priest. He's going to go from the graveyard to the Rivertown streets. And now for the text of our Mythos card, we have another environment replacing our Strength of the Earth environment card. Mirages of lakes. It's called the Halley effect. It is similar to seeing mirages in the desert, but it only occurs in urban environments. Entire cities claim to see vast lakes bordering their neighborhoods, where just the day before were dry land. Sometimes the mirage recedes as the viewers walk forward, sometimes it does not. When investigators move from one street to another, they may only move in the direction of the black arrows. Locations may be entered normally. Well, this could hurt us. We are kind of in a race right now to beat the Ancient One from waking up. So we're going to have to wait and see. This may not affect us at all. Right now we've got 2 investigators in the other worlds who are going to come out and close it. It's more about whether or not it's going to affect Lola in a couple turns when she starts heading toward a gate to enter and possibly seal it. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Alright guys, that is it for turn number 9. Started off kind of slow, but we did have a monster surge. At this point, we've got 3 gates sealed, and there are 4 gates open. So we'll probably be seeing a couple monster surges. There's not a whole lot of places for gates to open up without there already being a gate or a sealed gate. You never know, though. We could definitely get unlucky and have a couple gates open up on us. But we'll see what happens next turn. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.